Hey people, it's Nice talking. I would like to thank Pro Black Forward Free for telling me about this story. Now, this is from TechCrunch.com, and I think this is a really good story because it ties into things I've talked about before, like the video I did on Bahia, Brazil. So let's get to it. Brazil's Black Silicon Valley could be an epicenter of innovation in Latin America. Over the last 5 years, Brazil has witnessed a startup boom. The main startup hubs in the country have traditionally been Sao Paulo and Belo Horizonte, but now a new wave of cities are building their own thriving local startup ecosystems, including Recife with Porto Digital Hub and Florianopolis with Agate. More recently, a black Silicon Valley is beginning to take shape in Salvador da Bahia. While finance and media are typically concentrated in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, Salvador, a city of 3 million in the state of Bahia, is considered one of Brazil's cultural capitals. With an 84% Afro-Brazilian population, there are deep, rich, and visible roots of Africa in the city's history, music, cuisine, and culture. The state of Bahia is almost the size of France and has 15 million people. Bahia's creative legacy is quite clear, given that almost all big Brazilian cultural patrimonies have their roots here, from samba and capoeira to various regional delicacies. Many people are aware that Brazil has the largest black population in any country outside of Africa. Like counterparts in the US and across the Americas, Afro-Brazilians have long struggled for socio-economic equity. As with counterparts in the United States, Brazil's black founders have less access to capital. According to research by Professor Marcelo Paixão, I don't know how to pronounce that, in the Inter-American Development Bank, Afro-Brazilians are 3 times more likely to have their credit denied than their white counterparts. Afro-Brazilians also have over twice the poverty rates of white Brazilians, and only a handful of Afro-Brazilians have held legislative positions, despite comprising more than 50% of the population. Not to mention they make up less than 5% of the top level of the top 500 companies. Compared to countries like the United States or United Kingdom, the racial funding gap is even more stark, as more than 50% of Brazil's population is classified as Afro-Brazilian. Brazil could be the epicenter of innovation in Latin America. Salvador, Bahia's capital, is the natural birthplace of Brazil's Black Silicon Valley, which largely centers around a local ecosystem hub, Valo do Dende. Valo do Dende coordinates with local startups, investors, and government agencies to support entrepreneurship and innovation, and runs startup acceleration programs specifically focusing on supporting Afro-Brazilian founders. The Vale do Dende Accelerator organization Sorry, folks. Has already been in the spotlight at international and national publications because of its innovative work in bringing startup and tech education from mainstream to traditionally underserved communities. In almost 3 years, the accelerator has supported 90 companies that directly cut across various industries with high representation from the creative and social impact sectors. Almost all of the companies have achieved double-digit growth, and various companies have gone on to raise further funding or corporate backing. One of the first portfolio companies, Traz Favela, a delivery app that focuses on linking customers and goods from traditionally marginalized communities, was supported by the accelerator in 2019. Despite the lockdown, the business grew 230% between the period of March and May after incubation and recently signed an agreement for further support and investment from Google Brazil. There is clear recognition of the business case for Afro-Brazilian business. Another company supported in the beginning with mentoring by do Dende is Diaspora Black, which focuses on black culture in the tourism sectors. It attracted backing from Facebook Brazil and grew 770% in 2020. The same is true for AfroSwad, a health tech company focused on low-income communities with a new service to prevent COVID-19 in favelas, urban slums, which incidentally have high black representation. First off, let's not say incidentally. Blacks living in slums is a policy, the same as it is in America. The app now has more than 1,000 black health professionals on its platform, creating jobs while addressing a health crisis that's been tremendously racialized. We're at the brink of a renaissance here in Bahia. Despite Brazil's challenging economic situation, large national and global companies and investors are taking notice of the startup boom. Major IT company Quintes has come on board as a major sponsor to help Salvador become the leading black tech hub in Latin America. The company announced an investment of around 10 million reais, nearly 2 million US dollars over the next 5 years in black startups, including a collaboration with Velo de Dende to train around 2,000 people in tech and accelerate more than 500 startups led by black founders. Also, September, Google launched a 5 million reais, around 1 million US dollar black founders fund with the support of Vale to Dende to boost the Afro-Brazilian startup system. There is no doubt that the new innovation will come from the emerging markets, and the African diaspora can play an important role. With the world's largest African diaspora population in the hemisphere, Brazil can be a major leader on this. Paulo Dudende is keen to build partnerships to make Brazil and Latin America a more representative startup and creative economy ecosystem. So going back to what I was saying in the video Bahia, Brazil. Now I said that a lot of Tijuanian Black Americans have, Tijuana Black American men have talked about getting the passports and traveling. Now, for those of you who are really about building and making connections and doing business, this would be a really good place to go. Especially if you're in the startup sector, or if you have money and you want to invest, or just anything, it will be a good thing to come here and sniff around and see what opportunities could be found. So anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support this channel, I'll leave my GoFundMe description. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave it there. And if you want to see this article, I'll leave it there as well. Peace.